Hey, Landria here with Tools to Manifest Anything, and today I'm going to talk about something really important that can take you into that space where you're manifesting the things that you do desire. And why do I say that you do desire? Because we're manifesting 24/7. All your thoughts and beliefs, your actions are producing results nonstop. That's all the universe, multiverse does, is it expands, and it's always acting upon your directives, right? We have free will. So I'm going to talk today about something really important that could take you into that space where you're manifesting unbelievably cool stuff that you didn't even imagine was available. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Here to supply the tools to manifest anything, to break through fears, raising the frequency of the planet, one light being at a time. How are we going to do that? Today we're going to talk about something we don't consider when we are trying to put law of attraction into action. It's always in action. You don't attract anything. There's no law. That was coined quite some time ago, over 100 years ago. When people didn't know what quantum physics was, they're like, wait, if I do this, this comes to me. No, it actually just shifts into whatever it is you're aligned with. Nothing comes to you. You don't attract anything. You're either tuned into the radio station or you're not. You don't attract rock and roll down if you're listening to classical music, right? So this is what we want to do. Today is a very different kind of suggestion for you. A step that you can take, a tool to manifest anything. Now, I'm going to share this with you because you might be one of these people, you don't even realize that you are creating boulders up against that wall that on the other side is everything you could possibly imagine. And every time you do certain things, you put a boulder up, you're blocking that open gateway to manifesting anything. We have a platform online called Nextdoor. If you're here in the United States, you might have heard of it. It's where neighbors get together online and mostly complain. Instead of being neighbors like, hey, I have this to give away, or there's a party at the beach, it's people complaining constantly, which is rather sad because it could be so different. It's sort of a reflection of our community. Now, every once in a while we get somebody on there who's making some requests. And you can imagine the repercussions of somebody asking for things from the community, which is really interesting because the community should be up for that, right? Well, a woman got on and said that she doesn't get her food stamps till the 17th, and that's free food that our government gives, and for those who are, in poverty level, not making enough money. And she said she was asking if someone could bring her food, and that she can't drive, and she doesn't have a bike, nor can she walk. Okay, I'm wondering how she gets her food any other way, but that's here nor there. And the response was, tell me where you are, text me, I'll take care of it. Go to St. Anthony's, go to food banks. Why are you doing this? Blah, 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 criticism. It's all over the board. It's all over the board. Now here's the interesting part. Truly awakened people in that space where there are no blocks or barriers, are the ones that say, give me your text me, and tell me what you need. They don't judge, and they are there, and they give service to others without conditions or rules. That's rare, isn't it? There was only one person on there that did that. Now, we're naturally going to say, well, wait a second, it could be a scam or whatever. Does it really matter? And I've had friends that when I tell them, that I give money, or sometimes I walk somebody into a store and buy them food for people who are asking me for things. And they said, well, they'll just use the money for drugs. I said, do you know that? And if they do, it's none of my business. When you give freely, without judgment or conditions. We usually give with conditions, don't we? Those are blocks. Those are blocks and barriers to manifesting. You may not think it's related. It's directly related because it's a state of being. It's a state of being of giving, and you receive that. So when you're putting this unconditional giving, service to others out there, you'll receive that. So if you're putting conditions on things in judgment, or you're holding back, or you're resenting or criticizing, then you will live in a very restricted world. Oh, we have a siren going across the bridge. You are absolutely creating that. Whatever you give, you're receiving, not eventually, right now. So it may show up in the material world later. It has to, come together in a material world. Takes a little time, linear time. But the act creates immediately. There's no time delay. Nothing goes from here to here. There's nothing to track. It is immediate. Message heard. And therefore, the non-judgmental quantum field delivers. So you have to live it in every area of your life. And believe me, it's not easy. I myself, sometimes I'm looking at situations going, right? And then I have to step back. I call it step back and say, okay, is that a judgment? Yeah, it is. And I don't want to go there. So I don't want to judge that person for what they're asking for. You either give or you don't. But we don't have to give a commentary on everything. And then we live in a world that's in constant conflict and separation and judgment. It just never stops. It's insanity, isn't it? It's like, can we stop arguing? Can we stop, judging what we need and just give? And if you don't want to give, you don't. And you don't do that with judgment either. You just say, okay, you're not in a position, you don't desire to. It's your choice. That is not to be judged either. So don't beat yourself up, but we usually do, don't we? Does this make sense? All right, can you just give freely without judgment? That is a awakened service to others, loving, giving place to be. And so for me, when the man comes up to me at the gas pump and wants something, I couldn't understand a word he was saying. I think he wanted money. I showed him my card, and I said, do you want food? And he said, yes. And I said, I'm going to walk you in to the gas station, and you can buy whatever you want. I bought him a whole bunch of stuff. And so that, I felt good about. It was a great match for me and him. Instead of just giving him cash, I felt good that I was feeding him and getting him liquids. It's really hot here. So that was satisfying. Not just my conditions, because I didn't want to place conditions on what he did. He wanted the food. I wasn't making him get something he didn't want. He wanted food, and I enjoyed doing it because I didn't have the cash to give him at that time. So are you up on board? Are you on board with this? Again, so no conditions, but there are ways to do things that can help somebody to improve their lives. Maybe you help somebody to get a job so they can take care of themselves. Because sometimes just handing things over, service to others, isn't really going to solve any issues. And sometimes we do a greater service of saying, okay, I'm going to take you to this next level, and that is instead of just giving you the fish, I'm going to teach you to fish, and much more beneficial to them. And it's not just a condition, it's we can solve this consistent problem that's not going to go away unless we say, is there a different way, and can I be the conduit for that? So be careful with yourself. You might think you're judging. Sometimes it's not. It's just making higher decisions of how you can help somebody be of service to themselves also by learning new ways of life that maybe they're in patterns, negative patterns, and they do want the change. And then when they want that change, you can be there to offer it. Again, we're not going to impose on people things they don't want to. Somebody wants to take my cash and go buy booze with it, and that's what they want. I am not here to stop that. And I get to choose if I give it or not. All right, so there's this whole point of am I giving freely without judgment? Yeah, so I know it's a fine line, believe me. But that one person said, text me, where do I bring the food? That's it. Get in the car, go shopping, bring it to that person. I love it. That's the new earth. That is unlimited abundance, because that person is creating a giving environment, and that message is heard. What have you been doing? Don't hold back. Sometimes we have to put that judgment aside. You'll feel it, but you stop listening to it. Say, okay, ooh, the old me would judge that. Okay, I don't need to judge this person. Can I give freely? Yes, of course you can. I hope this was helpful. I hope you'll subscribe. Please share my videos. You can post them anywhere. You know, these are free, and that's my email list. I also have a free webinar for you. And if you're ready to come over and take my training, you can sign up for a free discovery call with me. We can talk about whether or not it's the right move for both of us. I want to make sure it's a good fit. Are you ready to take it to the next level? I know you are. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.